Today we're going to practice what we learned on Friday again. So we're going to be talking about standard form. At the top of the page, if y'all would write ax plus by equals c right here. And tell me about the a. Good job. It cannot be a fraction, a decimal, or a negative. So to make it in its correct form, we multiply the entire equation by something to make it an equivalent equation. Are y'all good?
Yes.
Every answer on this assignment is going to be in standard form. You might have to start with slope-intercept to change it. You might have to start with point-slope to change it. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. We'll go do an example in each section. All right, on 1 through 6, it's exactly like yesterday's or Friday's. It wants you to write two equations in standard form that are equivalent so that our answers match. Let's go put what we're going to do. So separate it. What do y'all think we should do on 1? We should divide by something. What's the biggest number we could divide by?
3.
What's the biggest? 6. So we're going to divide by 6 first. If you're not writing this down and you do it different than me, we're counting it wrong. So please pay attention. Then we're going to divide by, what y'all say the next one was? 3. Okay, on number 2, what do y'all think we could do? What could we divide by? 2. So we're going to divide by 2. What else could we do? Multiply by 2. Okay, on number 3, we can't divide by anything. Well, technically we could because the a is the only one that can't be a fraction. But I wouldn't want any of it to be a fraction like intentionally. So let's multiply by 2 and multiply by 3. Okay, number 4. What can we divide by? Ooh, give me more. -2. We cannot divide by +2 because that would keep the number in the a position a negative, and we can't have a negative. So we're going to divide by -2. And then what else could we do? Multiply by -2. And I'm going to put that in parentheses so it doesn't look like x minus 2, because that's multiply by -2. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, on number 5, what do y'all want to do? Multiply by 2 and multiply by 3. Number 6, what could we do? We can't divide. Multiply by what? What could we do first? What could we multiply by to make give me something like this so it would be the keep it the simplest answers? -1. Multiply by -1. Then we could multiply by -2. So you wouldn't be wrong to say multiply by -3. We're just trying to keep it as simple form as possible. Okay, any questions on 1 through 6? All right, on 7 through 12, this is new from Friday. It wants you to write an equation in standard form. So your answer must be ax plus by equals c. But it gave you a point and a slope. So what do y'all think we should do first? I'm waiting on somebody to tell me what I should do first. Look at what they gave you. We should probably write an equation in point-slope form first, and then do what? Rearrange it to ax plus by equals c. So right here, I want y'all to write y minus y1 equals m, open parentheses, x minus x1. That is point slope. Why would I do that? Because they gave me a point and a slope. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to rearrange it to ax plus by equals c. Okay, we'll do an example together, so let's do number 7. I'm going to do y minus the y value, which is 3, equals m, which is 7, open parentheses, x minus the x value, which is 4. That is point slope form, but we want it in. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is get rid of the parentheses by using distributive property. So I'm going to do y minus 3 equals, and I'm going to distribute the 7, so I have 7x times 7, excuse me, not times, 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Now I need to get rid of the minus 3 by adding plus 3. So I have y equals 7x minus 25. Am I in standard form yet?
No.
What form am I in now? Give me the form. Slope, intercept. Good. So if I want this in standard form, what am I going to move? So I'm going to move the 7x to the left by subtracting. And then I have negative 7x plus y equals negative 25. Is that a good, proper standard equation? It is not. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to multiply the whole thing by the lowest number possible to keep it negative 1. That is going to change every value to the opposite. So negative 1 times negative 7x is positive 7x. Negative 1 times y is negative y. And negative 1 times negative 25. Why did I write negative? That is supposed to be negative, right? Yeah. 7x minus y equals positive 25. Please box in your answer or circle it so that it's easy to see. Are y'all good? Now go to 13 through 18. This time, they want you to write an equation in standard form, so my answer better be final in ax plus by equals c, but they didn't give me a point and a slope. What did they give me? So, I need to first put it in y equals mx plus b form, and then rearrange. Here's the problem. I have taught you 2 different ways to do slope-intercept, and one of those ways is stat. Yes? Stat is only going to work for a few of these. And what's my reason? What does stat always give you answers in? Yes, but they always give them to you in decimals. Yes? The problem with that is if it's a repeating decimal, you can't put 0.3 with a line over it. It's not going to work. You need it in fraction form. Does that make sense? So I'm perfectly fine with you using stat on the ones that'll work. So like number 13, stat's going to work. Let me look real quick and I'll tell you which else. 14, they're all thirds. 15, they're thirds. It's not going to work. You need it in fraction form. So I'm going to I'll do number 15 with y'all because it's the harder one. Since I already know that stat's going to give me, and I'll show y'all, you don't have to do it, just watch real quick. So if I use stat and I put in 7 and 4 and negative 3 and 1, do y'all see there are repeating decimals?
Yes.
I cannot put those down and have an accurate answer. You cannot round when you're doing this. Do y'all understand? Yes. So I must keep it as a fraction in order to keep my answer correct. Now, one way you could do it is you could say, okay, the slope is negative 1.33. You could go back to your home screen and go like this put as many 3's in as possible, hit math fraction enter, and it will turn it into a fraction, but it doesn't always work. So that is a possibility. But to be the most accurate without using stat, you need to find the slope and the y-intercept on your own. Make sense? How do we find slope? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Yes? So I would do 1 minus negative 3 over 4 minus 7. What did I get? Negative 4/3. Now, how would I find the b? Who remembers? I have to take a point and plug it in with the slope. So I would say, which point do y'all want to use? 4, 1? So I would say 1 equals, that's y equals m, which is negative 4/3, times x, which is 4 over 1 plus b. And I'm solving for b. So I have 1 equals, I cannot cross simplify, can I? Are y'all with me? Yes. So what's negative 4 times 4? Negative 16. What's 3 times 1? 3 plus b. How would I get rid of negative 16/3? Plus. So I would add 16/3 to both sides. So what is 1 plus 16/3? 19/3. So that's my b. 19/3. Now can I write an equation in slope-intercept form? So I have y equals negative 4/3 x plus 19/3. Y'all remember how to do that? Yes or no? Okay, this is what we learned for the whole last week. Okay, again, to find slope, we use slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, yes? Are you good there? Then we plugged in one of these points. So right here, I'll write it, let me write it right here. This was y equals mx plus b. I plugged in 1 for y, negative 4/3 for m, and 4 for x. That's all I did, and I solved for b. Okay? Are you good? All right. So now that I have it in slope-intercept, can I rearrange it to standard? Yes. What needs to be moved? So I would do plus 4/3 x. So I have 4/3 x plus y equals 19/3. Notice that they're all thirds because when I get rid of it, I can simply multiply by the denominator. So I'm going to take this whole equation. Do I need to multiply by a negative? Nope. I just need to multiply by the denominator, which is 3. All that's going to do is cancel out that denominator and leave me with the numerator multiplied by the 3. Okay? So I have 3 times, actually that just, it just cancels out. I'm just left with the numerator, excuse me. So I have 4x plus 3 times y is 3y equals 19. And I'm done. So I'm going to tell y'all, number 14, number 17, and number 18 are all fractions. So stat might not be your best option, unless you can use stat and convert those decimals to a fraction. Make sense? All right, on 18 through 21, it's exactly like Friday, so I'm not going to go over that. And then number 22, you're going to do part A, part B. You don't have to do part C, and you don't have to do 23. So just 22 at part A, part B. Are there any questions? Okay, you may start.